workshops are
Open to the public.
Well, but I mean, I think we need to make it an issue so people know exactly what that is and what it would curtail.
Put it in the paper.
That's what we're gonna discuss at the workshop.
Yeah, that's what I thought one of the topics was.
We're gonna have a workshop to discuss whether to invite the public or have it as a public, or we're gonna have a
No, we're
workshop
gonna have a-
and invite the public precisely to be part of that workshop.
The public is invited to the workshop,
Yeah, they always have been.
so they would be hearing everything that we hear when we hear it.
So it'll be something we telecast, or they would have to be here?
They have to be here in person.
Yeah.
If they can get into our city hall. So, okay, I don't know, it's just an issue that bothers me that we're even considering, so.
Well, we need to talk as a group to see if this is something we wanna look at and move forward on. So, I mean, that's gonna be, it'll probably be, I mean, that's what will be discussed, is do we even wanna pursue this? That's kind of the first step.
I think not being transparent would be having a motion to hire this guy and nobody ever discussed it.
Well, but there's been times we've had workshops that the public didn't even know we were having one, or didn't realize what they were about, or whatever the case, until after the fact, so I don't want that to happen on this particular topic. That's what I had to say.
Okay, John?
My failure to get the minutes in from the Streets, Alleys, and Sidewalks Committee meeting from the 13th of February was rectified this morning. Should have been sooner, but it wasn't. So it is part of your iPad information, and a hard copy can be made. I don't think you made any hard copies.
Didn't make any hard copies,
Okay.
no, it is.
It's on there.
It's on.
With respect, the topics of discussion were of course, the First Street West Trail, in conversations with Crawford and other discussions, et cetera. All the details of that action on that day are in there. Crawford's beginning the trail location plans with specific emphasis on identifying the most efficient trail, limiting the impact on existing utilities and properties along the route. The other item was the sidewalk on North Iowa 150, Fifth Avenue Northeast, that would run from Bagby's Auto to 12th Street. And there's also some discussion going on right now, or coordination with Crawford and Canadian National, because we have a crossing that has to be done there, and they're very involved in that particular process. Update on pedestrian safety panel initiatives. The recommendations, of course, that were approved. There had been a meeting with the IDOT with respect to those areas that of the panel's recommendations, approved recommendations, that would affect the Iowa 150 corridor, specifically anything on 3rd Avenue, 5th Avenue, and 1st Street that falls in that corridor. And we're submitting correspondence, making any requests necessary to do that, whatever those might be. We're just awaiting their approval at some point. Update on 20th Avenue, you already have the information with respect to that. The bids will be opened, or due back to Iowa, or the state, by the 16th. And we'll consider them on the 25th of March. And then the status of pavement project, Veenstra and Kim. Steve's gonna be talking to B&K on the beginning project planning portions of this thing. Find out exactly which way we're gonna go and how we're gonna get there. And that's it.
Thank you. Carter?
Yeah, Steve's gonna have Steve's gonna give you in the update, he's gonna, or at least in his city manager notes, he had information about a lawsuit filed against the city and Dennis Gilson as a result of a snowplow incident that happened 2 years ago. We do have appointed representation by our insurance company. All that's been taken care of. But in the letter that they sent us, they again reiterated that they would greatly prefer that the city make no comment, either through city employees, city council, or city administration, about the incident while it's pending. And I thought that would be a good chance for me to again remind all of us, starting with the mayor, going down to the council, and then going down to the employee level, that anytime we're involved in litigation or possible litigation, we're not required to talk to our friends in the press. Now, we love them and they do a great job and we are all about transparency. But when it gets to the point that litigation's involved, the statements we make publicly are considered admissions. And if we're making them in our official capacity, whether we're a mayor, council, or a city employee, they can be used against us in court. And it's an unfortunate circumstance the way our process works, but that's the way it does work. Now, I as city attorney can't tell politicians what they can and not say. And we have a little bit more control over employees, but not a lot, because it's still America. People can still talk, and they have a right to say what was on their mind. But the flip side is, be careful and always remember that things you say could hurt the city. And I think we're all rowing at the same oar, and that is, we're all here for the city of Independence. We're not, otherwise why would we be here? And I think all our employees have the same concept. So, keeping that in mind, I'm not here to criticize anyone, because everyone has a right to say what they want to say. But it makes the job as the lawyer representing the city extremely difficult when people talk about pending legal issues involving city employees, city officials, anybody anyone involved in the city. So with that, that's all I'll say, but it was a good chance for me to say it once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Carter. Bob?
I was just gonna make a brief report. I alluded to it last meeting, but last Thursday, we had a meeting out to the Mental Health Institute with Sheriff Wolfgram and Chief Miller, myself, Dr. Davi, and several of the staff members from MHI. And the primary catalyst for trying to get the meeting put together arose out of a series of articles that were in Des Moines Register, and basically dealing with the amount of time and the expertise that is being expected of police officers and law enforcement officials in dealing with mental health issues. And it was a very enlightening meeting. We really couldn't come to any conclusions. We're going to meet again probably at the end of May, and at that one we'd like to get to some of the board of supervisors there, and mayor, city manager. One of the real problems that we've got right now is that the whole state is in turmoil over mental health treatment. The state talks and talks and talks, but they don't really do anything. It's amazing at the present time, some of the things that came out of the meeting were astounding to me, that at times we can tie up 2 officers for an entire shift up at the local hospital, because we have to take the individual up to the local hospital. They have to do all of the blood work or whatever, and then they try to locate a bed for that individual. And the last few times we have actually had to drive clear to Sioux City to take an individual